And is it easier to write a short song, or maybe the longer stuff comes more naturally for Opeth, of course?
Well, I guess that's always been like the trademark thing for Opeth, to have long songs which are supposed to take the listener and the band on a short journey, you know. But there's a couple of shorter ones on the latest album, and especially like the last song, Isolation Years, which is pretty short and straight to the point for being an Opeth song. I don't know which one's the hardest, really. I think it's, if you're interested in a style, you know, of writing music, I guess it's like that's what comes easiest for you, you know. I don't think there's never been a question in this band if they had to choose between the two, you know. I think just do what you're interested in, really, and try to do it as good as you can.
And seems to me actually that you live Opeth more like an experience, a way of life, than, you know, a job or a career. Did you really get into this just for artistic purposes, or I mean, is this a correct vision of the old situation?
Well, I think we're pretty lucky because we can live off of our music, you know, and so it certainly is a job as well, you know. But when you say that, a lot of people take it negative, and you're not supposed to say that music is a job, yeah, and so on, you know. But it is, because it is what we're doing, you know. We play music and travel around and play music for people, you know, and we get paid for doing that. But there's also this thing when you talk about the music being your job. It's always like, why can't you have fun when you do your job, you know? Right. Because job is always very negative for everyone, you know. And I guess we're just lucky, and we'll try to enjoy our job while we can, you know. Maybe next year nobody will like us, so. But I would say it is a job, but a very pleasant one, I would say.
Okay, but what do you think that if big, huge success comes, maybe it can destroy the magic of a band like Opeth, like, for example, it happened with Metallica?
Yeah, well, then again, if you ask Metallica, I think they will reply that they have the time of their lives now. Okay. But that's impossible to say, really. I don't think anyone in the band expected, when they started the band, and I don't think anyone does, you know, especially if you're into playing like metal music. You don't form a band and think that, yeah, we're going to be able to live off this, you know. It's just too far away, you know. It's hard to grasp when you're a kid and start a band, you know. But the band's been going for so long, and I guess everyone's just happy as how long the band's been going, and it's really going. The band is doing really good now as well, and I don't think anybody expected that, really, you know. I think everyone in the band expected all the people to hate us.
Okay. What do you listen the most on your tour bus, and which are the movies that you usually choose? And do you fight on that choices or not?
No, I think everyone listens to a lot of different music, and I'd say that mainly everyone listens to the music in their bunks, you know,
with headphones.
Yeah, exactly. And movie wise, it's like when you come to a tour bus, there's usually like a bunch of movies on the walls that the bus driver has, or something like that, and usually there are some good ones, and sometimes a good one that you haven't seen yet as well. So we don't fight a lot over things at all, I would say.
So this is something I didn't know. The tour bus comes with the movies, so you don't bring the movies yourself?
No, we can do if there's something it's like you really want to see, but that's usually you pick up DVDs when you go along, you know. Right. So, and that's usually music stuff, I would say.
Do you have a Spinal Tap copy on the bus?
No, I know that by heart anyway. You don't have to see it again, because
Okay.
I think everybody knows that it's the greatest documentary ever.
Okay, and so you split from your I would say main producer from the past. I'm talking about the Porcupine Tree guy. Was that a troubled divorce, or I mean, is something definitive, or is something that can be solved and maybe you will collaborate with him again in the near future? What do you think? And do you think that it maybe influenced your softer side, the softer side of Opeth? What do you think?
Well, he wanted to do this album, but he couldn't, because he was when we were supposed to go into the studio, he had to go on tour with Porcupine Tree. So it was only, you know, like a schedule thing. And because I know Michael asked him if he wanted to do it, but then again, the band has the records has been produced by the band themselves almost every time before as well, and Steven helped them with the vocal arrangements and, you know, the Ear Candy stuff like guitar leads and some more stuff like keyboards in the past as well. But the major recording part has always been done by the band themselves anyway, so it's not like a big change to do it on your own compared to how it was before. So
so we can name Steven. It wasn't a troubled divorce.
Oh, absolutely not. It was just, you know, like a clash of schedules, you know.
Okay.
And I mean, you never know what's going to happen next time if he's going to be back and do some producing or whatever, help out in any kind of way. I don't know. I mean, we're pretty early in the touring schedule anyway for us. I mean, the record has been out for 3.5 months now, and we got so much touring ahead of us. I mean, almost the whole next year is already booked, you know. So it's going to take some time, I guess, until we will record again.
So give to our readers or viewers, in this case, 3 reasons why they should buy the new Opeth album if they don't already have it.
It's a good-looking cover.
Okay, this is one.
Yeah, it's one. There's also some good songs on it.
All right, this is 2.
Yeah, and I would say if you like your metal a little bit spiced up with 60s and 70s stuff, it may be for you, you know.
Good. And do you think, is there any other band around that is in certain ways similar to Opeth? Any band that maybe you feel, I mean, I don't know, maybe part of a scene, or you feel pretty much unique?
Well,
as we said before.
Well, I don't know about the scene. There's lots of talk about the Swedish scene, which I guess, I don't know if it's a scene really. I don't think we belong to a scene more than that. We're just, you know, a band rooted in death and black metal, you know, whatever. I don't know. We have, you know, the other guys are really close friends with a band called Katatonia, and I guess that's, you know, like a brother band of.
Right.
And they also have their own. I wouldn't say that they sound like Opeth, but they have their own sound, and it's a pretty good band, I think. Nice people as well. And but then again, there's like maybe bands in different genres, but you can relate to how they play and write music, you know, like, I don't know, Mars Volta, Tool, bands like that.